Hello, friends. This is Dave Hurwitz, executive editor at ClassicsToday.com, here with Stupid Boxed Sets. And today's feature stupidity is this one on Deutsche Grammophon. Oh, yes, Pierre Boulez's complete works. Now, there are many, many levels of stupidity that we can address in dealing with this particular item. The first is that it's stupid to do a complete works of Boulez on its face because the music is mostly atrocious and very few people will care. Now, I always am a little careful about making those kinds of generalizations because we don't really know how many of these they sold. We really don't. When I say very few people will care, the 6 people in the universe who give a damn about Boulez will immediately post, "I care. I love Boulez." You can love Boulez. Some people love Boulez. I'm not saying that some people will not buy this. Some people will. I did, after all, and I don't think much of Boulez. I like a couple pieces. We've had this discussion. We're not going to go through the relative merits of Boulez as a composer. Fact of the matter is, he's an also-ran, and his music is essentially sidelined. I mean, it's over there. That's okay. That's okay. Maybe in 300 or 400 years, he will be the god of the late 20th century or whatever. Who knows? So anyway, the bottom line is, it's not that this is stupid. It's not so much that this is stupid. How does it go? There, it goes that way, right? Yes. It's not so much that this is stupid. What's stupid is the fact that what is in here got reissued at least 2 more times in rather short order. You know, when we talk about stupid box sets, it's not just the item in question. It's what happens to the item in question. Sometimes, as you've seen before, there's like a partial box set, and then a little more things get added to it, and bigger boxes come out with all the same stuff. Well, here you have the complete works. It's a big box set, and it has, well, how many CDs? 13 CDs. That's all he managed to do in his life. It's okay. You have 13 CDs of stuff, but DG also issued a cube of Boulez doing contemporary music. Well, what do you think was in the cube? There you go, right? And then they issued a bigger box of Boulez's complete DG recordings. And what do you think was in the bigger box? This thing again. So here's the point. Boulez was I personally believe, was a great conductor, especially in the repertoire that he, sort of specialized in, the modern stuff and the Second Viennese school and some of his Mahler's kind of interesting. And he was not, his Debussy and Ravel are fabulous. He did really good French music. He was like anybody else. He had his hits and misses, but he was unquestionably a great conductor and made some fabulous recordings. Those recordings are worthy of being collected. But if you're going to collect them and you're going to get this, whether you want it or not, how many times does DG think they're going to, sell this stuff? I mean, does this like poison the pill? Is this stuff that people are not going to get the other box because this is in it? I don't think it matters particularly. People will just ignore it. But it's expensive and it's time consuming and it's resource heavy to keep reissuing the same 13 discs of stuff in consecutively larger boxes and expect people to keep buying those consecutively larger boxes and paying for the 13 discs that they'll never listen to in those larger boxes. I mean, I have those larger boxes. So I now have, assuming I didn't get individual discs at the beginning, remember, all this stuff came out on individual CDs. Well, I didn't because I think the music's mostly terrible. So that's fine. But I got this because Boulez is like important. And I thought, well, it's a professional obligation purchase. So I have it. But I have this, and now I have his contemporary music cube, which has this, and I have his complete DG stuff, which has this, and I'm not going to listen to any of it. And, you could just say, well, it's stupid to get it, but they don't give you a choice, do they? If you want to get, for example, his Mahler cycle, well, wait a minute. There's a separate Boulez motorcycle box. I have it right there. It's right there. Or is it right up there? I mean, it's around. Oh, yes, there it is. Hi, Boulez. How you doing? Yes, you can get a separate Mahler box. You can get his Bartok box. You can get his Debussy and Ravel box. You can get his, those were all separate boxes too. So that's fine. So you have your choice. But of course, those get deleted before you can get the big Boulez box. Right? So some of that stuff is available, some of it isn't. There's no way to tell which is which, what's coming, what's going, what's happening. All I know is that all three of those boxes have the complete works of Pierre Boulez, the least desirable aspect of anything that he did. And I say that with total faith in its correctness. If I had to keep statistics on whether people are listening to Boulez's Debussy and Ravel or whether they're listening to Boulez doing Boulez, I feel relatively safe suggesting that they are listening to his Debussy and Ravel and not to Sur Incise or Explosion Fixe or any of those, pieces of hooey that he worked on for years and years and years and years and years, always changing and modifying and never completing. And, it's really a very smart thing, by the way, I have to say. I really do. To keep diddling pieces, adding a movement, subtracting a thing, making it bigger, doing constantly revising. It makes people think that what you're doing is important, when of course it's just noodling. It made no difference one way or another. I mean, that's just as true as with Handel. There are 6 versions of the aria, Thou Art Gone Up on High, and nobody knows why he bothered. It's not that one is better than the other. It's the dullest aria in all of Messiah, whatever it was from. Tovey was laughing about it years ago. I mean, why do composers do this? Well, Boulez was the ultimate never finishing anything kind of guy, with the suggestion that the reason is because what he's doing is so profound and so important and so significant that it just can't be completed. It's craziness. So yeah, you've got all of this, I guess, mostly incomplete stuff. Some of it was finished. And you get 2 more times to pick this up. And if that isn't stupid boxing, I don't know what stupid boxation is. So keep on listening, friends. Thanks for joining me. Take care.